Hi, in our first coding class of Raha Academy. In the last class, we saw how to style a div element as a brick, put it in a tile, and create a brick wall. In this session, we'll reduce that repeated HTML statements into few programming code. We'll be learning about loops to create a repeated statements. We'll talk about variables which will hold the programming values. We'll talk about conditional statements and checks. We'll talk about addressing HTML element with ID, and all these things we'll do using JavaScript. JavaScript is browser-based scripting. It allows us to modify the HTML document elements and give dynamic look and feel to the web page. And it happens on the browser, so that is on the client side. So let's get on to the coding and start with our HTML file where we left last time. Let's open first.html and we'll open it in the notepad. Even though Sublime Text and Notepad++ are much better editor, but for this class, this first coding class, we'll use only the native app that comes with laptop and PC. So we'll open it in Notepad. So yeah, this is where we are. Let's copy this statement, put it here, and make it as this is our fifth video actually, covering programming techniques in JavaScript. Let's first analyze what is the structure of this particular row. We have a row, within that we have tile, and a tile has 5 bricks. Yeah. So we have a tile has 5 bricks, and each row has 4 tiles, and then we have 3 such rows. So what we'll do is we'll take the deepest element, that is brick, and try to, these are the repeated statement. If you see, this is the repeated statement put under tile, and then tile becomes the repeated statement put under row, and this whole row itself becomes the repeated statement. What we will do is we'll try to reduce this using programming technique in JavaScript. So after body tag, we'll create something called script tag. Script and script, okay, and we'll close this with script tag. Okay, so we'll copy this particular element and we'll define a variable called txt is equal to this thing, and we'll try to put this txt element in another div tag. How do we put it? We have to create a fresh div tag and give it ID as, say, new wall, and we'll address this division element with document.get element by ID. What is ID? New wall, and we'll add the inner HTML part of it as txt. So here if you see, the portion here is the inner HTML part, this one, cap, this portion. As of now nothing is there. So this is what we'll fill with this text. Let us see how the code comes. See now, fifth video covering programming techniques JavaScript, and we got a single brick where the ID is equal to new wall. ID is not visible, all those things will not be visible here, but we are using this to access it programmatically. So now we got a brick wall under that. Now what we'll do is since it's a repeated statement, we have to create what is called as for loop. So for loop syntax goes like this: for open bracket variable, let give the name as brick number is equal to 0, starts with brick number 0. Then we'll give another conditional statement called brick number less than 5, since we are having 5 bricks in a tile, and we'll increment the brick for every iteration of the loop. Num plus 1. Every time we go through this for loop, this brick value gets incremented by 1, and it goes till it is less than this 5 element. So this conditional statement, till the time it is false, the program, the control will be within this for loop, and once it breaks out, it will come out of this for loop. So what we are going to do, we are going to make use of this for loop and concatenate, use this text again and again to create this series of 5 bricks. So let's call this as brick text is equal to blank, and we'll say brick text plus is equal to, or brick is equal to brick text plus again this text element. Okay, so instead of taking that directly, we can add this as well. So once we have this, after this for loop is finished running it 5 times, we'll have a brick text. Now let's put this brick text back into this new wall element. So we'll remove this text and put brick text. Let us see what happens.